Hello there, and welcome back to the channel where we talk honestly about thriving as we age. Now, let me ask you something right off the bat. Could the healthy vegetables you carefully pick out at the grocery store, the ones you trust to keep you strong and vital, actually be causing hidden problems? Could they be secretly contributing to fatigue, joint pain, or even kidney strain? It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? We've all had it drilled into us since childhood. Eat your vegetables. They're hailed by doctors, splashed across health magazines, the cornerstone of nearly every healthy eating plan. But here's a truth that often gets overlooked, especially for those of us navigating life over 50, 60, and beyond. Our bodies change. Our digestion isn't quite what it used to be. Our kidneys might need a little more TLC, and our sensitivity to certain natural compounds can increase. What if some of those very vegetables, celebrated as nutritional heroes, are quietly working against your body's current needs? What if they're triggering inflammation you can't explain, causing digestive distress you blame on something else, or putting a burden on organs that need gentle support? It's a concerning thought, and frankly, it's something many seniors stumble upon the hard way, feeling confused about why they don't feel their best, despite eating healthy. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this. We'll explore 10 common vegetables that, while packed with nutrients, might be posing unexpected risks for your body right now. And stick with me, because understanding this isn't about creating fear. It's about gaining knowledge and reclaiming control over your well-being. Knowledge is power, especially when navigating the often confusing world of health advice. Before we dive in, if you believe in aging with energy, clarity, and strength, and you want straightforward insights to help you do just that, please take a moment to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell. Why? Because you'll join a community dedicated to supporting each other with real, actionable information, cutting through the noise. Your support truly helps us keep creating content that matters. Thank you. Now, let's get started. Number 1, peas. Those sweet little green orbs. They show up everywhere, don't they? Tossed in salads, stirred into pot pies, served as a simple side dish. They seem so innocent, packed with fiber and even some plant-based protein. We often think of them as a perfectly harmless, even beneficial addition to our meals. But here's the surprising catch, especially for seniors. Peas have a relatively high glycemic load. What does that mean in plain English? They break down into sugar quite quickly once you eat them. Now, for a younger person, the body might handle this little sugar surge without much fuss. But as we age, our insulin sensitivity often decreases. This means our bodies don't manage blood sugar as efficiently. Have you ever felt that sudden energy dip, that inexplicable fatigue hitting you an hour or two after a meal? Those blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes, can be exhausting. Over time, constantly challenging your system like this can worsen insulin resistance, making it harder to manage weight and significantly increasing the risk of developing or aggravating type 2 diabetes. It's a stealthy effect, often masked because peas feel healthy. Then there's the issue of purines. You might have heard of purines in relation to gout, that incredibly painful condition often affecting the big toe. Peas are quite high in these compounds, which break down into uric acid. While our bodies need to handle some uric acid, older adults are often less efficient at clearing it out. This buildup doesn't just risk triggering gout attacks. Excess uric acid can also contribute to the formation of kidney stones and put extra strain on kidney function over the long haul. Are your joints feeling a bit achier than usual? Could that side of peas be contributing more than you realize? And let's not forget digestion. Do peas sometimes leave you feeling bloated, gassy, or just uncomfortable? You're not imagining it. Peas contain lectins and resistant starches. These are natural compounds, sometimes called anti-nutrients, that can be tough for any digestive system, but especially challenging as our natural enzyme production tends to decline with age. The result? Fermentation in the gut, leading to that unpleasant bloating and gas that many seniors just resign themselves to, thinking it's normal aging. It's fascinating, isn't it? We focus so much on the vitamins in the pea, we forget to ask how our body actually handles the whole package. It's a reminder that nutrition isn't just about what a food contains, but how it interacts with our unique physiology, especially as it evolves. So, what should you do? This doesn't mean banning peas forever, but awareness is key. Pay attention to how you feel after eating them. Consider smaller portions. Pairing them with healthy fats and proteins can help slow down that sugar release. And if you consistently feel bloated or achy after eating peas, maybe it's time to reduce their frequency and see if things improve. Ask yourself, are these sweet little veggies truly serving my body right now? Number 2, asparagus. Those elegant green spears often feel like a healthy indulgence, right? Rich in vitamins A, C, E, and K, packed with fiber and antioxidants. It's frequently recommended for heart health and even has a reputation for anti-aging benefits. What could possibly be wrong? Well, similar to peas, asparagus contains purines. So again, for those susceptible to gout or struggling with joint inflammation, regular consumption might subtly worsen symptoms. That stiffness you feel might not just be the weather or getting older. Your diet plays a huge role, and asparagus could be a hidden contributor for some. But there's another angle with asparagus: its well-known diuretic effect. We often hear diuretic and think detox, which sounds positive. However, for older adults, this needs careful consideration. Why? Because as we age, our bodies naturally hold less water, and our thirst mechanism becomes less reliable. It's incredibly easy for seniors to become dehydrated without even realizing it, feeling unusually tired, a bit foggy or confused, experiencing muscle cramps or dizziness. These can all be subtle signs of dehydration. When you regularly eat a diuretic food like asparagus, it increases fluid loss, potentially tipping you into dehydration more easily. And guess what? Dehydration puts significant stress on your kidneys. Your kidneys need adequate fluid to function properly and filter waste. If you're already managing kidney issues, or even if your kidney function is just naturally declining with age, adding the extra burden of dehydration from a diuretic food isn't ideal. This is a perfect example of how something considered healthy in one context can be problematic in another. The flushing effect of a diuretic might be fine for a younger person, but for a senior who might already be on blood pressure medication, many of which are also diuretics, and struggles with hydration, it's a different story. We need to think holistically about how these foods impact our current physical state. What's the takeaway? If you love asparagus and feel fine after eating it, enjoy it in moderation. But be mindful of your hydration levels, especially on days you consume it. If you have kidney concerns or are prone to dehydration or gout, it might be wise to limit your intake and discuss it with your doctor. Ask yourself, is this vegetable refreshing my system or potentially depleting it? Number 3, corn. Oh, corn, it's everywhere. Sweet corn on the cob, popcorn at the movies, corn tortillas, cornflakes for breakfast. But its presence goes much deeper. Think cornstarch, cornmeal, and the ubiquitous high-fructose corn syrup hidden in countless processed foods. It feels like a wholesome, all-American staple. But let's look closer. First, digestion. Ever noticed whole corn kernels making an appearance later on? That's because the outer layer is made of cellulose, a type of fiber our bodies can't fully break down. For seniors who often have reduced digestive enzyme production, this can mean bloating, gas, stomach pain, and even constipation, especially if you have conditions like IBS or diverticulitis. Your gut might be working overtime, trying to process something it struggles with. Then there's the blood sugar impact. Corn, especially sweet corn and processed corn products, has a surprisingly high glycemic index. It converts to sugar quickly, leading to those undesirable spikes and crashes we discussed earlier. For anyone managing pre-diabetes, diabetes, or insulin resistance, common concerns for older adults, frequent corn consumption can sabotage blood sugar control, fuel cravings, and contribute to metabolic issues. There's another layer too: inflammation. Corn is high in omega-6 fatty acids. We need some omega-6s, but our modern diets are often overloaded with them and deficient in anti-inflammatory omega-3s found in fatty fish, flax seeds, walnuts. This imbalance promotes systemic inflammation, which can worsen joint pain, cardiovascular problems, and other age-related inflammatory conditions. And we haven't even touched on the fact that most corn grown today is genetically modified, GMO, and often heavily treated with pesticides like glyphosate. While the debate on GMOs is complex, concerns about long-term exposure to glyphosate and its potential impact on gut health and overall toxic load are valid, especially for bodies that might already be dealing with compromised detoxification pathways. It adds another layer of consideration beyond just the basic nutrition. If you enjoy corn, moderation is key. Opt for organic, non-GMO corn when possible to minimize chemical exposure. Pair it with high-fiber foods, lean protein, and healthy fats to slow sugar absorption. Be incredibly wary of processed foods containing corn derivatives. That's where the real trouble often lies, and consciously boost your intake of omega-3 fatty acids to help balance out the omega-6s. Ask yourself, is this versatile grain truly supporting my energy and health, or could it be contributing to hidden inflammation and blood sugar woes? Number 4. Mushrooms, often hailed as medicinal marvels. We hear about their potential for boosting immunity, supporting brain health, and providing B vitamins and antioxidants. From savory shiitakes to common white buttons, mushrooms are frequently added to dishes with health intentions. However, mushrooms have a unique characteristic. They act like sponges in their environment. Unlike plants that selectively absorb nutrients, mushrooms can readily soak up whatever is in their growing medium, including heavy metals like lead, cadmium, arsenic, and agricultural chemicals if grown in contaminated soil or watered with impure water. Why is this a bigger concern for seniors? Our natural detoxification systems, particularly liver and kidney function, tend to become less efficient with age. This means we might be less able to filter out these accumulated toxins, leading to a gradual buildup over time. This toxic load can contribute to fatigue, cognitive issues, and further strain on already burdened organs. Even store-bought mushrooms aren't guaranteed to be free from contaminants unless they are certified organic, grown under strict conditions. There's also a naturally occurring compound in some mushrooms, particularly raw or lightly cooked white button mushrooms, called agaritine. Some research suggests potential carcinogenic links with long-term exposure, although this is still debated. Cooking does help break it down significantly. But think about how often mushrooms are added raw to salads. And what about allergies or sensitivities? Mushroom proteins can trigger immune responses in some people, leading to subtle symptoms like bloating, skin irritation, or fatigue. As our immune systems change with age, new sensitivities can develop, and mushrooms might be an overlooked trigger. Finally, digestion again. Mushrooms contain chitin, a tough fiber found in their cell walls, also found in insect exoskeletons. It's difficult for humans to digest, especially with lower stomach acid common in older adults. This can lead to gas and bloating. It's ironic, isn't it? We reach for mushrooms thinking immune support, but if they're non-organic, we could be introducing toxins that actually challenge our system. And if they're raw, we might be consuming compounds that cooking neutralizes. It highlights the importance of sourcing and preparation. The strategy? Opt for certified organic mushrooms whenever possible to minimize toxin exposure. Cook them thoroughly, sautéing, roasting, boiling. This reduces agar-atin and makes chitin easier to digest. If you experience digestive upset or other unexplained symptoms after eating mushrooms, consider reducing your intake or temporarily eliminating them to see if there's a connection. Ask yourself, are these fungi truly fortifying my health, or could they be introducing unwanted guests? Number 5. Cabbage. Crunchy, affordable, versatile, cabbage is a staple in coleslaws, stews, and fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi. It's lauded for its fiber, vitamin C, and potential benefits for blood sugar and cholesterol. But cabbage belongs to the cruciferous family, along with broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, and these vegetables contain compounds called goitrogens. Goitrogens can interfere with your thyroid gland's ability to take up iodine, which is essential for producing thyroid hormones. These hormones regulate everything from your metabolism and energy levels to your body temperature and even cognitive function. Why is this particularly relevant for seniors? Hypothyroidism, or an underactive thyroid, becomes more common with age. Many seniors might even have subclinical hypothyroidism without knowing it. Regularly consuming large amounts of raw cabbage, think coleslaws or juices, could potentially suppress thyroid function further, leading to symptoms like persistent fatigue, unexplained weight gain, feeling cold, depression, or brain fog. These symptoms are so often dismissed as just getting older. Digestion can also be an issue. Cabbage contains raffinose, a complex sugar that our upper digestive tract struggles to break down. It travels down to the large intestine where gut bacteria ferment it, producing gas. For seniors with slower digestion or conditions like IBS, this can mean significant bloating, discomfort, and pressure. The thyroid connection is one that often flies under the radar. People might be meticulously managing their diet for other conditions, but overlooking how a seemingly healthy vegetable could be impacting such a crucial gland. It underscores the need for personalized nutrition, especially if thyroid issues are present. What's the approach? Good news here. Cooking cabbage significantly reduces goitrogens and makes raffinose easier to digest. Steaming, sautéing, or boiling are great options. And fermenting cabbage, like in sauerkraut or kimchi, not only reduces goitrogens, but also introduces beneficial probiotics, which are fantastic for gut health, especially important as gut microbiome diversity can decline with age. So, favor cooked or fermented cabbage over large amounts of raw cabbage, particularly if you have any thyroid concerns. Ask yourself, Is my love for raw slaw potentially slowing down my inner engine? Number 6. Eggplant. Known as aubergine, in some places this veggie is loved for its creamy texture and ability to soak up flavors in dishes like ratatouille or baba ganoush. It's low-calorie, high-fiber, making it seem like a great choice for healthy meals. But eggplant is a nightshade, like tomatoes and peppers. Nightshades contain solanine, a compound that can trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals. For seniors already dealing with arthritis, gout, or other joint pain, eggplant might unknowingly worsen stiffness, swelling, and discomfort. You might blame aging, but could this vegetable be playing a role? Eggplant also contains oxalates. These compounds can bind with calcium and contribute to kidney stone formation. This is a bigger concern for older adults, especially those with a history of kidney stones or reduced kidney function. Eating eggplant frequently could increase this risk. Digestively, the skin of eggplant can be tough and fibrous, making it hard to break down, especially as digestion slows with age. This can lead to bloating or discomfort. The small seeds, while edible, can also irritate sensitive digestive tracts or those with conditions like diverticulosis. Mild allergic reactions or sensitivities, causing itching or digestive upset, can also occur, sometimes developing later in life. It's easy to overlook the connection between a food like eggplant and chronic joint pain or digestive issues. Because it's generally considered healthy, we often don't suspect it could be an irritant for our specific body. How to handle it? Cooking eggplant well, roasting, grilling, baking helps reduce solanine levels and makes it easier to digest. Peeling the skin can remove much of the tough fiber. Salting slices before cooking can also draw out compounds that might cause issues. If you suspect nightshades bother you, try reducing your intake and observe your symptoms. Zucchini or summer squash can be gentler alternatives. Ask yourself, is this creamy vegetable comforting my body or possibly contributing to inflammation? Number 7. Potatoes. A global comfort food superstar. Mashed, baked, roasted, fried, potatoes are everywhere and loved by many. They feel familiar and satisfying. But beneath the comfort lies a potential issue. Potatoes have a very high glycemic index, especially when peeled. They convert to sugar rapidly in your bloodstream, causing sharp spikes followed by energy crashes. For seniors managing blood sugar, pre-diabetes, or diabetes, this is particularly problematic. It makes blood sugar control difficult, fuels cravings, and can contribute to weight gain and metabolic issues over time. These constant blood sugar fluctuations also promote oxidative stress and inflammation throughout the body, which can accelerate age-related complications like nerve damage, neuropathy, cognitive decline, and kidney strain. When potatoes are fried, chips, French fries, they form acrylamide, a chemical linked to increased oxidative stress and inflammation, potentially worsening conditions like arthritis. It's funny how we classify potatoes as a vegetable when nutritionally, especially without the skin, they behave much more like a refined carbohydrate in our bloodstream. That comfort food feeling can be deceptive. It might be comforting your taste buds, but stressing your metabolic system. And think about the context. How often are potatoes the vehicle for unhealthy fats and salt, like fries drowning in ketchup or baked potatoes loaded with sour cream and bacon bits? It's rarely just the potato we eat. Smarter strategies? Choose sweet potatoes more often. They have a lower glycemic index and more nutrients like beta-carotene. If eating white potatoes, always keep the skin on for fiber to slow sugar absorption. Opt for healthier cooking methods like boiling, steaming, or baking instead of frying. Keep portions moderate and pair them with protein, healthy fats, and other non-starchy vegetables to create a balanced meal. Ask yourself, is this familiar staple truly nourishing me, or is it secretly spiking my blood sugar and inflammation? Number 8. Spinach. This leafy green is famous for being nutrient-dense, packed with vitamin K, iron, folate, and antioxidants. It's a go-to for salads, sushi, smoothies, and cooked dishes, often seen as a pillar of healthy eating. However, spinach is extremely high in oxalates. As we discussed, oxalates can bind with calcium and form calcium oxalate kidney stones. This is a significant risk for seniors, especially those with pre-existing kidney issues or a history of stones. Frequent consumption of high oxalate foods like spinach can increase this risk. Furthermore, high oxalate intake can interfere with calcium absorption in your gut. Since seniors are already at higher risk for osteoporosis and fractures, anything that hinders calcium absorption is a concern. Ironically, a food praised for bone health nutrients could potentially work against it if consumed in excess, particularly raw. The irony with high oxalate greens like spinach and kale is thick. We eat them for bone health because of the calcium and vitamin K, yet the oxalates can hinder calcium absorption and potentially contribute to kidney stones, which are definitely not good for overall health. It's not about demonizing these greens, but understanding that more isn't always better, especially when consumed raw in huge quantities, like in those giant daily green smoothies that became so trendy. Balance and preparation method are everything. What to do? Cooking spinach, boiling or steaming significantly reduces oxalate levels. Pairing spinach with calcium-rich foods like dairy or fortified plant milks during the same meal can help bind oxalates in the gut, reducing their absorption. Most importantly, moderation and rotation are key. Don't rely on raw spinach daily. Mix it up with lower oxalate greens like romaine, butter lettuce, or arugula. Ask yourself, is my daily spinach habit supporting my health or potentially stressing my kidneys and bones? Number 9. Kale, the poster child of modern health foods. Kale smoothies, kale salads, kale chips, it's everywhere. Celebrated for its vitamins A, T, K, fiber, and antioxidants. It seems like the ultimate superfood for aging well. But like spinach, kale is high in oxalates, carrying the same risks for kidney stones and potential interference with calcium absorption, especially when eaten raw in large amounts. And like cabbage, kale is goitrogenic. It contains compounds that can interfere with iodine uptake by the thyroid gland. For seniors with sluggish thyroid function or hypothyroidism, consuming large quantities of raw kale regularly could potentially worsen symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, or difficulty managing weight. Again, we see the superfood label can sometimes mask potential downsides for specific individuals or when consumed improperly. The key is understanding the nuances. The approach: cook your kale. Lightly steaming, sautéing, or boiling drastically reduces both oxalate and goitrogen levels, making it much safer for kidneys and thyroid function while still delivering nutrients. Use raw kale sparingly, perhaps as a small part of a mixed salad, rather than the main ingredient daily. Rotate kale with other greens. Ask yourself, is this trendy green truly a superfood for my body in the way I'm currently eating it? Number 10. Bell peppers. Red, yellow, orange, green. These vibrant veggies add color, crunch, and sweetness to so many dishes. They're packed with vitamin C and antioxidants, seem universally healthy, but the skin of bell peppers can be tough and fibrous, potentially causing digestive issues like gas, bloating, or indigestion for seniors with slower digestion. Bell peppers are also nightshades containing solanine. As with eggplant, this can trigger inflammation and worsen symptoms for those with arthritis or autoimmune conditions. The link might be subtle, causing increased stiffness or pain that isn't directly connected to the peppers in your mind. Some people also develop mild allergic reactions or sensitivities to compounds in peppers, leading to itching, skin irritation, fatigue, or sinus issues. These subtle reactions are often missed. It's easy to dismiss mild digestive upset or a slight increase in joint pain, but sometimes these common, seemingly healthy foods are contributing factors we haven't considered. Making peppers friendlier, cooking them thoroughly, roasting, sautéing, boiling, softens the skin and may reduce compounds that trigger inflammation. Peeling roasted peppers removes the fibrous skin entirely, making them much easier on digestion. If you suspect nightshades bother you, try limiting them and see if you notice a difference. Zucchini or steamed carrots offer similar crunch and nutrients without the nightshade factor. Ask yourself, are these colorful additions brightening my plate but potentially dulling my joints or upsetting my digestion? So there you have it. 10 vegetables that, despite their healthy reputations, might need a second look, especially for those of us over 50 or 60. From the blood sugar impact of peas and potatoes, the kidney considerations with asparagus, spinach, and kale, the potential inflammation from nightshades like eggplant and peppers, the digestive challenges of corn, or the unique concerns with mushrooms and cabbage, it's clear that nutrition isn't always black and white. Does this mean you should run screaming from the produce aisle? Absolutely not. Vegetables are still vital. The real takeaway here is awareness and personalization. Your body today is different than it was 20 years ago. What worked then might not work as well now. The goal isn't fear, but empowerment. It's about understanding potential hidden triggers for symptoms you might have been blaming solely on age. Listen to your body. How do you feel after eating certain foods? Does bloating, fatigue, or joint stiffness seem to follow specific meals? Becoming a mindful observer of your own reactions is incredibly powerful. Cooking methods matter immensely. Often, simply cooking these vegetables thoroughly can neutralize or reduce the problematic compounds. Moderation and rotation are your friends. Don't rely on just 1 or 2 superfoods day in and day out. Variety is key, not just for nutrients, but also for avoiding potential sensitivities. I truly believe that understanding these nuances helps us move beyond generic advice and tailor our diets to genuinely support our health as we age. It's about being proactive, asking questions, and not just accepting discomfort or declining energy as inevitable. You deserve to feel vibrant and well. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these vegetables surprised you the most? Have you noticed any connections between these foods and how you feel? Sharing your experiences in the comments below can be incredibly helpful for others in this community. Let's learn from each other. If this video provided value and gave you a new perspective, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach more people who could benefit. Share it with friends or family who might find it useful. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and hit the bell so you won't miss our future videos dedicated to healthy, empowered aging. Thank you so much for watching, for being part of this conversation. Remember to be kind to yourself, listen to your body, and make informed choices. Until next time, stay well, stay informed, and keep living your life vibrantly.